In last week's video, I showed you how you can create a perfect focus stack in Helicon Focus. Now, you've asked whether I could deep dive into the software and show you my entire workflow, and since your wish is my command, that's exactly what we're going to do today. Welcome to Platypod TV, where innovation never sleeps. For today's video, I chose an old watch that I had lying around my house. It's something I think that anybody can replicate. I've got a Platypod Extreme that I've clamped to the tabletop with a handle to give me some height, a Platypod, and I'm shooting it on a Nikon Z8 with a 105 macro lens. Now in terms of lighting, I'm just using a Lume Cube Pro LED panel, very simple. And then I'm using another LED panel just to give me some orange light from the side. So it's a very simple 2-light setup that you can very easily recreate at home. And to bounce some of that key light back into the other side of the watch, I use a white piece of foam board to act as a reflector. I've imported all the images into Lightroom, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check the depth of field. Now I'm going to start with photo number 1, and you can see that I have taken a total of 47 photos. So let's have a look. Photo number 1, you can see that parts of the watch are sharp, but the sharpness falls off here, and you can see that the background is very soft. And then if we go to the last photo, shot number 47, you can see that the watch itself is completely out of focus, but the background is very sharp. Now the shot that I have in my mind is sort of a bit of both. I want to have a sharp watch, but I want the background to fall off a little bit. So I'm going to have a look maybe somewhere here around shot number 23, why not? Now you can see that there's a little bit of sharpness down here in the background, but actually still quite a bit of fall off here in the top left, and the watch itself is very blurry. And if we go to shot number 12, okay, our background is now still quite out of focus. So that's around about what I had in my mind. So I'm going to use only shots 1 through to 12, and I'm going to discard all the other photos. Now, before I switch over to Helicon Focus though, I'm going to do one more thing, and that is I'm going to give my shots a quick once-over edit. Now, what that means is I'm going to go into Lightroom settings, and I'm going to adjust things like shadows, highlights. Maybe I tweak the color a little bit, give it a little bit of a punch with some clarity. And because that's going to be different for every shot, I'm going to speed this bit up. I'm not going to do any sharpening at all at this stage. In fact, that's something I'm going to do at the very end. The next step is critical. What we want to do is we want to take our adjustments and copy them over to all the other shots that we're going to use. And it really couldn't be easier in Lightroom. All we have to do is select the first image. Then we're going to press Shift, select the other 11 images that we want to use for the focus stack. And we're going to hit Sync. Make sure that all the tick boxes are selected. And we're going to press Synchronize. And it will now apply all of our settings to all the images, and they should look exactly the same. And once we've done that, all we've got to do now is move these images from Lightroom into Helicon Focus. So we go into the photo menu on the top. We're going to hit Edit in Helicon Focus. Edit a copy with Lightroom adjustments. Click Edit, and all of these images will now move from Lightroom to Helicon Focus. And here we are in Helicon Focus, and you can see all of our images have been imported. Everything from the first image all the way to the last image. And you can see there's slight differences here. In the first shot, you can see part of the watch face is out of focus. And in the final image, you can see all of that top bit here is now perfectly sharp. So let's have a look at what we do in order to focus stack them all together. In the bottom right hand here, we have 3 different rendering methods. Methods A, B, and C. They all do slightly different things. And I think what we do first is we'll try them all out, see what the difference is. So let's start with method A. hit render, and let Helicon Focus do its thing. If we compare these two shots, we can see a real difference. In the original shot, you can see that the top half of the watch face was in focus, but the bottom half was completely out. Now, in our rendered shot, in our focus stack, you can see that the whole watch face is now in focus. That's worked really rather well. But let's see what method B does. So we're going to click method B in the bottom right hand corner, and we hit render again. I love watching what Helicon does. It's just very satisfying. Okay, here's our second output using method B, where it created a depth map. And again, we can see that the watch face is perfectly in focus, and that's looking really rather nice. But let's see what method C does. Again, method C has done a really good job. Now in the bottom left-hand corner, we can see our three outputs: method A, method B, and method C. Let's have a look what the difference is. So method A looks very clean to me. Method B, also perfect. Method C also worked well, but I can see in the bottom half of the watch face here, I think it hasn't done quite as good a job as the other methods. So I think method B is my favorite for this one. And this will just really depend on the subject that you're shooting. So it's always worth experimenting with that. And there's some advanced techniques where you can combine a number of those methods together to get an even better result. And for that, I would highly recommend watching some of fellow Platypod Pro Stuart Wood's content. He's done some fantastic videos in Helicon Focus, and there's just nobody who can focus stacked insects like Stuart can. I'm going to go with method B. So in the bottom left-hand corner, I can simply select our B shot, and now we could go into retouching. We could add some text and scale the whole thing. I'm not going to do any of that because I'll do that in Photoshop later on. But for now, I'm just simply going to save my output. And you can see here we have some save options in the top right-hand corner. Export to a 3D model, create an animation, save the depth map. That could be interesting. We could export individual layers, just copy it to the clipboard. We could also directly publish this image to the web or share it on Facebook, or we could just save it as a project file. I'm just simply going to save that image. For the final part of my workflow, I'm going to open this image up in Photoshop, where I can get rid of things like dust or scratches on the watch, just to give it that final little bit of adjustment. And here is our final image. I hope you found this helpful. Remember to like and subscribe. And if you want to learn more about photography, make sure you check out my podcast, the Camera Shake Podcast, over wherever awesome podcasts are.